Wheaton said he's watching. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Galactic Nerd Outpost. I am your host, Joey, aka Gojin the Makai Phantom. Joining me is once again Forgottenpharoh and JS Penna.
Hello.
Hello.
How are y'all?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you? How's your spring break been?
I'm old. I don't have spring break.
Oy.
I just live. Live the eternal time of work constantly.
Well, how about you, Gojin?
I'm all right. I did work my ass off to get that one video out, particularly the one on Professor Otaku, and it turned out to be a fucking masterpiece after I edited out some stuff on YouTube Editor that I didn't get out on the first time because it turned out to be fucking amazing. The video did, not to suck myself off, but man, I really pushed out that video. Like, damn, I worked all fucking day on that final one. Like, I went from like 7 in the morning to like 2:30 a.m. to get that out on Saturday.
What?
Yep,
I remember
that video took lots of time and effort.
I see.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I was just watching it before the stream started.
what'd you think?
Damn, you're savage.
Thank you. Because here's the thing, I went very hard on him, and some of the stuff I didn't even know would fly when I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be off YouTube in 24 hours, isn't it? But it's like, you know what? Fuck it. This clown deserves it.
Also, I'm probably questioning the obvious here, but does everyone just call the YouTube CEO or whatever she is Mama Susan? Because some YouTubers
I got that
subscribed
from
to.
It's a Gundam. It's a comedic way to pretty much talk out how much of a tyrant she is, and if it's like you don't want to piss off Mama Susan.
Okay, because I've been hearing I just subscribed to the guy, and I've
It's
been
a
hearing.
Gundam.
Yeah, I've heard that term from him and Nerdrotic.
I haven't watched Nerdrotic, but I've heard of him.
I don't know. I think he's okay. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's cool.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either because I admit I don't watch as much anti-SGW content these days. I watch some, but there are a fair share that try to politicize everything, like Geeks and Gamers, that are just as bad as the SJWs. Seriously, I don't like Geeks and Gamers. I think Jeremy is a complete twat, and when he was watching the Halo series trailer, it did not look good. Like, whenever he'd see a woman, he'd do that. It's like, dude, I hate woke shit too, but here's the thing. Women and minorities exist, my guy. Not everything with them is woke.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, Jeremy is. I don't agree with everything he says either.
I think he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, at times. Well, he is from Alabama. There is that.
He's from Alabama. I was gonna do it's funny because I was planning to do a deconstructing insane nonsense online video of his Halo reaction, and I was about to make an Alabama joke because he looks like he literally does look and sound like the incest type. So now I have even more fuel to roast the living fuck out of him with.
But that being said, I kind of do have respect for him. Although,
I don't. I find him to be absolutely irritating.
What's the topic today?
Oh, the topic today is we are discussing upcoming video games each of us are hyped for. And others might join in, like maybe Monarch or Carolee Rapta, I believe her last name is. But that's if we don't know. They are probably busy right now. I know Carolee is, but she said she'll try to come in. But my first take is gonna be Project Eve. And if you guys don't know what that is, essentially Project Eve is an upcoming PlayStation exclusive video game from Korea with a similar hack and slash RPG style to Devil May Cry.
Interesting.
Interesting.
You have my attention.
And it looks like a lot of fun. The story, I don't know too much about it yet, but from what the trailers displayed of that story, it did kind of grab my attention. It looks like it's going to kind of enhanced the gameplay a bit. The character, if I remember correctly, Eve, I think she might be. Let me look it up because I can't remember the exact plot of it. But when I was watching the trailer, it looked super interesting. So, Project Eve plot.
So is it going to be similar to Bayonetta?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like Bayonetta, you also have a attractive woman in a very tight outfit, which pissed off a certain group of people. But you know what? The way I see it, hot Korean chick with thick ass and in a tight outfit equal a W for me.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
But yeah, that's another thing it has in common with Bayonetta is chick in tight outfit. Okay, so the plot is, in the not-too-distant future, mankind is expelled from Earth after losing the battle against the invaders called the Natives. To win back Earth, the player becomes Eve, the survival of the paratrooper squad deployed by the colony, who must fight through powerful enemies with new comrades. Story looks interesting. It seems to have this nice it has a motive for your character, and it's a way to make you feel badass through the game, and it does look like it will provide about that. The monsters look creative and cool, and I haven't really touched a Korean game in my life, and I want to see how one feels, and that kind of interests me more, especially since I've been playing a lot more games lately, and I've been expanding my horizon of gaming to more East Asian games. Like, one of them I had my eyes on and want to play in full is the game Nier Automata, which I played some of that. If you haven't played it, check it out. Has some similar gameplay to Devil May Cry, some to Final Fantasy. It even has some aspects. It even has some fucking levels that pay tribute to arcade space shooters, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, go check out that game. It's by Square Enix. I've been getting more into East Asian property of gaming, and so that makes Project Eve really grab my attention even more. Its overall looks very incredible. Would highly recommend looking it up. What about you, Forgottenpharoh?
So how's you going? That the plot of your game sounds very similar to the plot of my game, except my game is very, very, very silly.
What game?
My game is called Earth Defense Force 6.
Oh, I heard of that game.
Yes, it's going to be coming out apparently sometime this year. We don't know yet. It was supposed to come out I think last year or so, but pandemic things happened, so it was pushed back. So for anyone who doesn't really know, Earth Defense Force is about a game of you are a generic soldier on Earth, and these aliens come down to Earth, and you have to fight back. Simple enough. You run around a city or a field or a beach, and you just get these little boxes that say weapon and armor. The more armor things you get, the more health you get in the next mission. The more weapon boxes you get, the more weapons you get that you could choose in the next mission. You're only allowed 2 weapons, though. But it doesn't really matter because you have a chance of switching out each weapon before you go into a level. So say you want to use some more firepower. You get a rocket launcher and a sniper rifle. You always have infinite ammo, so you can just spam either one, but you have reload times, obviously. But if you just want to start sniping ships out of the sky, you can do that. If you want a machine gun with bullets that bounce at whenever they hit something, you can do that too. If you want a flamethrower, you got that. They've added on different classes over time. My favorite's the personal wing diver, where you are an anime girl with a jetpack and you have energy guns.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sick.
It is so wonderful to just fly up on top of a building, look down with either just a straight energy beam or a rocket beam, and just fire from the top. But the best part about all of these, aside from that gameplay, is the aliens and the dialogue. Because the aliens are giant ants, giant spiders, giant robots, giant frogs that are dressed up in astronaut suits, giant bees.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's such a bizarre game, and the dialogue is so much fun because these people have never seen insects or frogs before. There is a direct line in the last game where if you shoot them enough, their armor starts breaking off, and it shows they're frogs. And one of these soldiers is like, "Oh my god, they have two arms, and they walk upright. They're just like us." And it's like, dude, that's a frog. What? Are frogs not on this planet? And then they see these giant spiders. I'm like, oh my god, there are these giant insects. What are they? Like, that's a spider. What planet Earth are we defending where spiders, frogs, and apparently bees aren't a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this reminds me of something I saw a year ago, or I saw this fun fact about Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, where apparently turtles don't exist on that world,
Yes.
and that's why they
Turtles
call
don't exist in Gamera's worlds.
That is interesting because it does kind of bring context to why everyone associates something with being a Gamera. Well, Gamera, since I generally speak with the Japanese pronunciation.
Mhm.
So I think that works. 1 minute. Mad Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot, said, "What up, guys? Not much. Doing pretty good." And he also said, "Speaking of EDF, I'm definitely all about the fencer and wing diver because holy shit, are these
Nice.
classes OP. I also
Yep.
love the air rider because mechs. Of course, Matt. As someone who knows Mac, he's a very crazy mecha guy, but it's also in his name. He's massive metalhead into mecha. So yeah, figured that.
Nice. I'm glad this game has a secret cult following to it, and I'm glad because this is the 6th one they're releasing, and I am all for it. I've played the main story with my best friend every time they came out, and it is so much fun. Also, you might enjoy it because every maybe 15 or 20 levels, you just fight a giant kaiju. There's no
sounds
explanation.
awesome.
These aliens just have giant kaiju on their side.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's one mission where they have an army of giant kaiju, and we decide, you know what? We'll fight them with giant robots. So then there's an army of giant robots you use to fight the giant kaiju. But then the ants start attacking, so you have to jump in and out of the robot to save the robot from the ants because you can't hit the ants because you're too big.
That's fucking amazing. Is this a Japanese game by any chance? Because I know Japan, when it comes to giant robots and giant monsters, they tend to mesh quite a lot.
This is a 100% Japanese game
That explains
they just have English voiceovers over. That's it.
That explains it because Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla is essentially what started the mecha craze in Japan, and then it just kept evolving in other stuff like Ultraman, super robot anime that would generally have giant mechs versus kaiju. Then it started going into solo mecha stuff, but mecha essentially oriented from kaiju outside of stuff like Astro Boy.
Yeah.
But as old as Astro Boy is, I don't even know if that predates some of the shit in Ultraman like Ultra 7 or Mechanicong.
Wait, hold up. I was told Mechanicon came before Mechagodzilla.
He did.
Yeah,
so did King Joe from Ultra 7. Windam as well.
So looks of it, Astro Boy came out April 3rd, 1952.
Okay, so yeah, that predates it, but generally what popularized that type of thing was essentially kaiju, Mechagodzilla, Ultraman, multiple other things. That's why it meshes it so much together, and why super robot anime and even plain mecha anime tend to have some stuff in common with kaiju movies.
Yeah, it's by all means, it's fun. The games aren't really that expensive. You can probably get a bunch of them online or just in a store somewhere. No, I don't know what a store, but you can just get them, and there's a lot of missions to them, but they're fun. The gameplay can be a little repetitive, I'll be honest, because you are fighting more or less the same enemies each time, just sometimes with a different combination of them thrown in, and the only way it just gets more difficult is they just add on more enemies, and the harder difficulties, they just have more health to deal with, which makes it a lot harder.
That's fair.
And doing 100+ of them can get tiring, but it's fun and goofy, and it's just like I can just sit back and enjoy slaying insects for a good several hours. Very excited about
Mad
this
Matt,
game.
the heavy metal mecha pilot, also said, Kiryu's my favorite Mecha Godzilla, might I add. Great choice, great choice. Huh?
Kiryu's solid choice. He was cool.
Yes, he is. Funny that he also mentions that since I did that video on Professor Otaku's shitty Kiryu video yesterday, which he's seen, and Matt is probably one of the few people who hates Professor Otaku more than I do, and he loved it, of course, so perfect timing.
Speaking of Godzilla, is there any chance we can do an anniversary stream on Godzilla versus Kong, or
you're sure, I'd be down for that.
Sure, right. I have a lot of pent-up frustration that I've worked through with that movie.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I was upset with some of it, but I think I'm getting over that now. It might come back out, but...
Oh, all right.
What's your next... what's your choice, JS Penna? I have a hyped game if you have any.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not really a gamer. I'm more of a mobile gamer.
That still counts.
Yeah, it still counts. People who say mobile gamers don't count. They're wrong.
You're saying game in it.
Wait, there's people who say that?
Yeah, there's people who say it. It's kind of gatekeeping. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of mobile games, but they're still video games objectively.
I mean, yeah, any version of a digital game would count as a video game, I would say.
Exactly.
Well, another thing is, maybe I shouldn't be too honest, but anyway, there is a Hungry Shark game that's coming out with that has prehistoric sharks. I don't know exactly what the name is, but I know the Hungry Shark games have a history of putting prehistoric sharks in their games. For example, Megalodon, Helicoprion.
Could you explain what the game is?
Yeah, it's basically a game where you control a shark and it eats people.
I've actually played one of the Hungry Shark games on my tablet a few years ago, and I thought it was addictive, actually. One of the funnest mobile games I've actually had my hands on. Haven't played it in years, but out of mobile games I've tried, you just go around viciously eating people. It's gory. I think it's open world too by memory, and you can just go around and doing what you want. That was a lot of fun. Very fun little side scroller that allows you to get all these absurd shark skins to pretty much be what you want.
It sounds like the old Jaws video game that I heard about, where you're just Jaws and you're swimming around stalking and eating people.
Jaws Unleashed.
Yeah.
I played that as a little kid, had on PS2. Had fun with it for the time. If I was to describe it, it was kind of like Grand Theft Auto with sharks. That's how I seen Jaws Unleashed as a kid.
That sounds funny to think about. But all right, that's what it kind of reminds me of, because I don't play mobile games at all. Because I don't pay attention to my phone too much, even though my job is to be a social media person and content writer. Regardless of that. Interesting. I haven't heard of the game. So when does it come out? Or when does this update happen?
I don't know when the game's coming out, to be honest. I just know from the Hungry Shark page that it's coming soon, but they don't exactly give a date. And yeah, Hungry Shark is addictive, but after a while, it kind of becomes boring, and you just pop in every day to get rewards.
Well, yeah, that's essentially why I haven't played it in a while. I would be fine. I probably would play it again at some point, because it's been a while since I played it. But that's essentially how I got off of Hungry Shark a couple years ago. Is I got addicted to it, but it got so repetitive. It's like, okay, I'm done with this for a while.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, how about this? Favorite shark to play then?
I'd say on the Hungry Shark world that I have, there's Megalodon and Robo Shark.
Robo Shark?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, is it a robot shark, a cyborg shark, or is it like a cyborg shark?
It's a robot.
Oh, okay.
And
does it have laser beams?
Unfortunately, no, but it does. But it can eat mines and can shoot them out of its mouth.
Okay. It's not lasers, but okay, you know what? It still has some sort of firepower.
And it has a jetpack. Well, no, wait, no, I take that back. There was a previous version of it that had a jetpack in Hungry Shark Evolution, but this one just kind of glides through the air.
Really? I'd imagine like a hammerhead shark would do something like that.
Nah, hammerhead sharks are still normal sharks.
Really? I would kind of want all the sharks to be different, like great white sharks, or like detect things a little bit further out, or hammerhead sharks are or like mako and thrasher sharks are a lot faster.
Well,
But
mako
like a
sharks are
hammerhead shark can
fine.
like jump out of the air, like dig things up really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? You have to say, Sebastian, on that?
Yeah.
Okay. My next hype game, before I get into anything on a official standpoint, what I'm gonna go for is a mod towards a game I grew up playing. That would be Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. They're still working on it, but I know they're keeping up with it because they recently they've revealed full gameplay, full matches on their YouTube channel, and it looks fucking sick. It's essentially a combination of Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, and I'm hyped for it because they took the graphics of the game, modernized them a bit. I think there's going to be more updating to them at some point. They gave them more accurate designs to the movies, their accurate roars. Even on the fucking intros, when the entrances come in, it plays their theme songs, the monster theme songs, and you even get in the game, you get a combination of the Atari trilogy soundtrack and some new versions of soundtracks from the movies, even some Evangelion soundtracks thrown in there, and I really like that. It looks like a lot of fun, and it's the overhaul I've been wanting of these games for years. It's the remaster I've been wanting of these games for years. No official company is doing it, but you have these little independent modders giving it to us for free. And I know it's not gonna be this technically big thing, but since they're actually doing something to, I think, actually some of the best fighting games there is to play, it's something I'm really excited to have. And I wonder if they'll do some changes with the stories or something, since the gameplay is essentially a combination of Destroy All Monsters Melee and Save the Earth. So I wonder if they're gonna add an original story or something.
That'd be fun.
Which I'd be cool with. But another thing I like about Destroy All Monsters Melee is they said they're gonna add some original kaiju that wasn't in the Atari trilogy. So maybe we can get Shin Godzilla, Godzilla Earth,
How would Godzilla Earth work when he can just step on everybody?
Yeah,
or just probably shrink him.
Yeah, but they could shrink him.
Okay.
As Matt Wheaton said, Evangelion versus Godzilla sold. Yes, yes. Very definitely. I still think that's going to possibly be in a movie, but that's another topic down the line, but yes. Maybe we could get fucking King Kong. Like, I would love to have King Kong in a Godzilla game. I've always dreamed of having him in a Godzilla game. I'm not the typical Godzilla virgin who's like that big monkey bad. No, Kong's great. Kong is great. Godzilla's my huh?
Continue, I'm sorry.
Godzilla's my favorite, but I still fucking love Kong. So having him in a Godzilla game, that would be so good.
That does sound like a lot of fun. They're still working on it. Like, that does sound like fun. It'd be nice to have a Godzilla game that I can reliably play again. I would. Do you know if they're gonna have like this? If they'll keep the free play mode again? Because that's something I really like and I miss in a lot of games, which isn't added in.
I think they will keep it since it's essentially just an overhaul of those two games. Like, the original title for it was Godzilla Save the Earth Overhaul, so I think it's going to have the entire game with more to it, and that's why I'm hyped for it. The new anime Godzilla from Godzilla Singular Point, Godzilla Ultima, if he's in it too, that would also be pretty awesome.
That would be interesting to go through. I would be excited seeing some of the new seeing what monsters they added in. Maybe we can get some monsters that we haven't seen in a long time either. It definitely will get Jet Jaguar back into it. He's designed for those combat games.
Yep, he's actually in the game. I've seen it. They modernized him too.
Nice.
I'm very hyped for the game. There's so much potential they could do by reviving the original aspect of the game while bringing in so much more, which they've confirmed. I think they did I don't want to spread any misinformation, but I swear to God, they hinted at they're gonna add some new characters in the game. So you know what? If we could get someone that was never in any Godzilla game before, I'm fucking sold. Okay.
Yeah. What new characters would you like to add in?
Characters I would like to add in, as I said, King Kong, both from 62, Monsterverse, Jackson's, just a bunch of different Kongs, Godzilla Ultima, Shin Godzilla, Godosaurus, what else?
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. Although people have been saying that the first Godzilla form we see is kind of Gorosaurus.
Well, yeah,
in Singular Point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing about Singular Point, it essentially used different forms of kaiju and put it in the show.
That still bothered me deep down. I thought I was going to get Titanosaurus. I'm like, nope, it's just first form Godzilla. It's like, cool, looks like Gorosaurus. Nope, like second form Godzilla. It's like, man, guys suck.
Maybe I'm just the nerd, but for me, I seen it as that's Gorosaurus, but it's also Godzilla. Like, you know what? That Godzilla form is Godosaurus, just like Salunga is that show's Gabuda. I still see it as an incarnation of Godosaurus, just that.
Out of all the bosses they brought back Gabara.
Yeah, I know they brought back Gabuda, and I don't care for Gabuda. He looks stupid as fuck, but they managed to make him look cool. They actually did. And I hate revenge. I do. I don't hate revenge because there's movies.
I hate revenge.
I dislike it. I strongly dislike it. But hate.
I will hate that movie to my last breath. Because we had to deal with Kenny. We had to deal with probably one of the dumbest monster roars I've ever heard in my life.
That is true.
The giant claw.
I give that movie like a 3 out of 10 because it's really fucking bad. But
even as a kid, I had a hard time paying attention to it.
Okay, Mad Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot, said 3 things. One of them is, granted, I'm more of a fan of something like, he said, granted, I'm more of a fan of something like Getter Robo, Gal Gaigar, and Mazine Kaiser, but I do like Evangelion too, to be honest. Speaking of awesome kaiju games, anyone played God of Monsters on PS2? As a response to your first comment,
that says War of Monsters.
I haven't seen Getter Robo, but I do plan to. Same with Gal Gaigar. I seen the first episode of Mazine Kaiser. Was really good, but the rest wasn't on YouTube, at least subtitled. I'm going to tell you right now, I fucking hate dubs. They're more acceptable in anime, but I still can't take them, even in Dutch. But yeah, I love Evangelion, and Ano is a very talented guy.
Yeah, I was watching Squid Game, and I'm still surprised you still haven't seen any Gojin. And,
I still plan to.
Well, I know. But anyway, I wanted to watch the original version, but one of my family members wanted to watch it dubbed. I said, okay, fine. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can't do dub, especially in live action.
I don't know. Sometimes you get some really funny dubs.
Oh yeah, there is funny dubs, but for me, if I'm gonna watch a dub, it's generally gonna be for something like the Gamera 2 Redneck dub or Ghost Stories, where it's essentially a parody, but an actual dub, like just translating to Japanese or whatever language it's doing, I can't get into that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't mind so much.
When I was younger, I didn't mind dubs because, well, I didn't speak the language, but nowadays I'm like, Jesus Christ, maybe I should just listen to the original version from now on.
Oh, same here. Like when I was a kid, like I don't disavow the existence of a dub because it can get kids into foreign media, but once you get older, at least in my case, I can't watch dubs anymore. But when I was a kid, I was like, this is fine. I can enjoy this. Okay, as for Matt's second comment of, has anyone played God of Monsters on PS2? I have not, but I've heard of it.
Haven't heard of it.
It's essentially, I think, a kaiju fighting game on the PlayStation 2 that a lot of kaiju fans like. You have giant robots in it too. I haven't done much research on it, but it's a favorite amongst the kaiju and tokusatsu and mecha community. So I do want to get my hands on it at some point down the road.
I have not. Nope.
What about you, JS?
What?
Have you played God of Monsters on PS2?
Well, it's on here it says War of the Monsters, but no, I have not. I don't even have a PS2.
I've heard of War of the Gargantuas.
War of the Gargantuas is a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly, yeah, the first time they used masers effectively.
Yeah.
Yep, but it wasn't part of the Toho universe.
Yeah, they reference it a couple times.
Yeah.
And that stock footage is used in a lot of the later movies, so I say it counts.
I do too. Matt, as for Matt's third comment, he said, Shin Godzilla's my favorite Godzilla film, followed by Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Two great choices.
Those are very good choices. They have very good concepts, good monsters, good creature and monster design, fun stories, and good characters.
Yep, and they have their own unique messages to tell too. Like Shin Godzilla's message is about how the government poorly handles disasters and things along the lines of that. Mm-hmm. And Godzilla against Mechagodzilla's message is essentially how we shouldn't hold ourselves to such high standards. We can all redeem ourselves. We're worth so much more than we give ourselves credit for. Which is why
a message that's surprisingly rare.
Yep, which is why Akane tried to kill herself at the end, but then she realized she matters to people. Her past mistake does not define her. Which it's a wholesome message. That and Shin Godzilla both had their own amazing messages to them.
Yeah.
And Mad Matt also said Hideaki Anno is very much one of the GOATs, being, for those who don't know, greatest of all time as far as anime directors go, with Yoshiyuki Tomino, Ryusuke Takahashi, Yoshiro Iwagawa, and Jun Kawago. I know who Yoshiyuki Tomino is, and I heard the others' names, but when it comes to Anno, yes. Though Anno's more than just an anime guy, as clearly he's done Shin Godzilla, he's done the upcoming Shin Ultraman, he's done the upcoming Shin Kamen Rider he done the live-action Cutie Honey movie back in the day, which a lot of people like. And that's one of the things I like about Anno. He's able to do both live-action and animation very well. He has his own experimental traits to him, but at the same time, he has stuff that connects it to each other that goes, oh, okay, this is an Anno film, or oh, this is an Anno show. Dude's got a lot of talent under his belt, and he's able to bring it both in live action and animation.
I don't know. I don't know people.
I just know he's one of the biggest filmmakers in Japan, which is one of the reasons Shin Godzilla was a huge success, because you had an upcoming Godzilla movie with Godzilla being a fucking legend in Japan. That helped, and it was by Hideaki Anno, which is also a legend that brought stuff like Evangelion. So that all dragged the Japanese people into the theaters.
That's fair. Like I said, I don't pay attention to directors in any country, including this one. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to watch a movie and I'll figure out over time what I like and dislike. And if I like something more, then I'll pay attention to somebody more. If I don't like it, then I'll make sure to learn the cues of what I don't like specifically.
Yeah. Mad Matt also said, yeah, I can't wait for Shin Ultraman, dude, especially since I'm a very huge Ultraman fan. Same here. There's a lot of potential there, and to those interested, check out my video of Gojin into the Shinverse. I have a lot of interesting stuff to say, at least I think, about what they're possibly going with on that. But that being said, I'm very hyped for Godzilla Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, and there's a lot of potential it could bring. What's your next hype game, Forgottenpharoh?
Oh, all right. So I'm kind of tied between these two, but I'm staring at the trailer for one of them, and I'm like, you know what? I'll play this one more than the other one. So way back in the days, I would go to an arcade with like $2 to $3 a quarters, and there'd be one game I always want to play. And I would want to play with other people, but because I was shy and I didn't have a lot of friends and a bunch of my other friends sucked, they didn't want to play it with me. So I decided I'll play it myself because that's what's fun. And it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time game. And they are doing a Scott Pilgrim style TMNT game called Shredder's Revenge. And I am all sorts of excited for it. I love the TMNT. I collect the figures for it. I would habitually watch the old live action movies because that's what I had. I wasn't really into the 80s TMNT show because it was a little too goofy. I did like the, what was it, like the 2000s era? I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the 2000s era. I love the 2012 version. I collected a bunch of figures out of that one. I have all the movies. I have I didn't realize how much I love TMNT until I looked at a giant box of figures I have exclusively for TMNT figures and realized, wow, I really like this. So I'm very hyped for this game because it looks like those old side-scrolling arcade games where you just pick one of the 4 turtles, and this time you get to be Master Splinter and April O'Neil. I don't know what she'll do. Maybe shoot people. Yeah. But I miss that old thing of just like, all right, then you get you and a bunch of friends side scroll, beat up a bunch of foot ninja, beat up a bunch of the bad guys by throwing your bodies at them. Where most likely you will lose a couple lives and a couple quarters, but you know what? Just wear them down. Seeing them flashing red means like you're getting somewhere, even if it means costing you $5.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of have knowledge on those old TMNT games, and I heard about the upcoming ones. I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I always wanted to play them, and as a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles myself, I got into that from the 2000s TV show as well. I definitely think it's neat that they are kind of reviving that whole thing and bringing something new to the table in that style, which is why it's like, you know what? They need to do this more often.
They do. I don't get enough of these couch co-op arcade beat 'em up games anymore, and I really miss that. Those are one of my favorite types of games to play because they're fun, like they're colorful, they're bright, they're interactive. If you get certain moves down together, you can do it with friends or by yourself. Generally, the music's usually really, really fun. Being like, there's such a weird, satisfying thrill of taking a foot ninja and throwing him at the screen and seeing his face go, yeah. Just terrified as he splats against it. And I'm definitely going to get it for the Switch. It's coming out for, I think, all platforms, but I'm getting it on the Switch because if I get it for the Switch, that's easy access to get several other people to join play with me. Just buy the game, tell someone, hey, bring your Switch, and bring like 2 other people. We each choose a turtle, and we just go.
Yeah, I kind of get you on that because it's not like it's going to require this very powerful thing to run it well. That's a similar reason when I grabbed Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes on the Switch. It's like, you know what? The graphics aren't the best, so it's not like I'm going to need the PS4 version to run it on a PS5 to give the best performance possible. Okay, it's not like the game requires something that powerful to run smooth. So I was like, I'll grab it on the Switch because I can also play it. I could also play it on portably when I do it that way, and I like that. That's one of the things I like about the Switch. You can play it both on a TV and you could play it portably. Like when you want to go out somewhere, travel, you could just get your game out when waiting. And
well, that's what it's designed for. They made sure of that.
Exactly, which is why I was like, I'll grab it for this because Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, though it's very fun from what I played, it doesn't require this massive performance to enjoy it. Being the graphics, I think. I've seen people say it looks like a PS3 game, though it's overall a praised game. The graphics are something people are critical of. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say for a Switch game, it looks okay. It has some nice colors that pop out and such, but there are things that could use more detail and some animations that could have been better. Overall, I think it looks average for a 2020 game on the Switch. But
that's why I'm kind of choosing this game though, because it like it's supposed to feel like those old school arcade games, just kind of polished. And those games didn't require a lot of memory to deal with, to the point they can they've kind of re-released a bunch of them and upload them. Hell, you can probably play a bunch of them for free on your laptop, just super easily if you find it. So I'm I don't need extra graphics. I just want a fun game to play again. I miss playing TMNT games.
Yeah, I still would like to play some myself because, like I said, I am a Turtles fan. So And I would like to see the revival of older games like that more often, with some upgrades here and there to kind of provide extra content for it, which they're doing, I think.
Yeah, I'd be down if they brought back an X-Men arcade game. Once the X-Men are back in universe, I would love to see that again and have the Colossus do his massive shockwave and Magneto's welcome to die phrase.
Yeah.
It's like I just miss things like that so much. And even though we're kind of getting away from playing games like that, it's like I want to bring those back because I love those. Castle Crashers was so much fun. Scott Pilgrim versus the World was really good. I listened to the music on that. I'm very excited about this game. I want to have it. Also, yeah. Which turtle would you want to play?
I think it depends on my mood, but right now I'm probably leaning towards Raphael. I always liked Raph's attitude. He's kind of a hothead. In some ways, it kind of depends on my mood, because sometimes I'm more like Michelangelo with having this very upbeat, fun personality. Sometimes I'm a hard ass, so...
That's fair. I always want Leo. Leo or Donatello, surprisingly enough. Donatello's got that reach with the bow staff that is really hard to beat, and Leo just has 2 swords. And 2 swords are always cool.
Yeah. And I hope every turtle has their own feeling to them. Like, since all of them have their own weapons and kind of their fighting styles, the turtles, I would like to see them to have their own feel in the game and not just be, oh, you have this turtle skin, you have that turtle skin, you have this turtle skin.
They actually did that with the old games where depending on which turtle, they felt different. Like, Leo was the most balanced. Donatello was slower, but he had the most range. Raphael did the most damage, but he had short range.
Yeah.
And Michelangelo was better at movement and jump kicks and throwing people.
Yeah.
Like, you could in the old games, you could solo with Raphael, and I can do that. If I play just as Raph, I can go through the whole game. That's how I beat it. I couldn't do it as Leonardo or Donatello. And I've tried multiple times and I couldn't do it. Raph was like, wow, I am walking through these people now.
Okay, Carolee did. Carolie's actually, she missed the stream. No, you didn't, Carolee.
Yeah. It's like, by all means, it's fun. When I buy it, I'll let you know. And I would love, like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be online with this. There's no reason it can't be.
Yep. Okay. 1 minute. Gotta send this to Carolee because I don't want her to. I want her to make sure that it is time that she can still join. I almost brought up her thing for her, but I was like, you know what? She might get onto the stream, so
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed these so much. I actually just rebought an old Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time just so I could play it again. And annoyingly enough, the month I bought that, there was a release for this game, and I'm like, of fucking course that's happening. But there's no release date for it yet. And I want to know why. Like, I want this game. I really do.
Yeah. Okay.
So much.
Carolee, if you're watching, I sent you the link.
Yeah, online co-op, shared / so I'm looking at it on Steam. It says single, online co-op, shared and split screen co-op, full controller support, remote play together. Like, this is going to be on every system to be played, and it'll be wonderful.
Yep. Okay. Sebastian, feel free to go on about your pick because I'm here trying to.
Yeah, he's trying to do his thing.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm not a big gamer, so that's unfortunately it.
So this ain't the right real stream for you, is it?
Yep, not at all.
No, Matt, to be honest, I just wanted to do another live stream with you guys.
Oh,
that's fine.
Well,
that's cool.
We appreciate you.
However, there is one thing I do want to talk about. I'm surprised NetherRealm hasn't made a Godzilla game. I mean, that would be awesome.
What do they do?
They do Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
I probably wouldn't play that, actually.
No,
because as fun as those games are, that kind, like, when I'm playing a Godzilla game, I want the scale of fighting as a giant monster in buildings. A small town fighting game, I don't get that scale, and it's not as much fun to me personally.
Oh, okay.
So by all means, that's just my take on it. It'd be like, do you have an idea on how it would go?
Okay,
Like,
she joined. She joined. Oh, thank God she joined.
Wait, but
I want to know. I want to know what he's trying to do. Hello.
Hello.
Okay,
Hey.
like when I checked the chat to see if you are joining, and you said that like if you could still join, I was like, oh shit. What if if I haven't checked, am I too late? I was thinking. That's why I was like, shit. Since you're here now, name a game you're hyped for.
Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
What?
Yep.
I like the Borderlands. It looks like it has the same cartoon style or whatever. It looks like
I'd say more
the same
comic
gameplay.
book style.
I'm really excited to see her as a non-playable character finally get like her own standalone game. I want to play her. I love her when she's all like, "Are you gonna get out of my workshop, or am I gonna
what
have
game is
to
this?
sink a bitch?" Like,
Tiny Tina Wonderland. It is
okay.
Yeah, it's a Borderlands game. I didn't know what it was at first, but I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay. I still want to play Borderlands, as I played Destiny 2, which is the same genre as Borderlands, a looter shooter. And for those who don't know, a looter shooter is essentially a combination of a shooter game and an RPG, which I think makes a good combination. I've been wanting to play Borderlands since I just got a 360 around 2013, and it's been a while since I still haven't got around to it, but I do want to touch it because lately I've been playing more video games.
I thought she said Tiny Toons Wonderland. I'm like, they making a Tiny Toons game?
I mean, I would be down for that too. Just saying.
Yeah. Like, I think they're trying to do a reboot of Tiny Toons, but I'm scared of that. But I'm like, okay, fascinating. So when does this come out?
This comes out on the 25th, I do believe, in like 5 days.
So it's coming out like this week.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Nice.
one of the things I was like that. That's like, I kind of added it in the thumbnail since I wanted to add two choices from one of us into the thumbnail to give people an idea. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I added in the thumbnail with the dragon, except I put Christian Bale holding my choice of the game being Project Eve, which I'm still super hyped for. And yeah, I think it has potential. Still gotta play the prior games first.
What is it about?
You got a plot summary, Carolee?
Yeah, do you know?
What, the Tiny Tinas? No, I have no idea. It's probably just gonna be that same just shoot 'em up and get your loot type shit. I just know I'm looking forward to it. I didn't look into too much. I don't like to look into games too much before I can play them because I don't want it to be ruined.
Okay.
That's fair. I generally don't look into stuff that I can spoil it, but I do look into stuff a little. Particularly, I watch the trailers when they're out, which I found out about Project Eve. And generally, it works for me. I just don't do it too much. Matt Wheaton said, if anyone wants to know my most anticipated games coming our way, I need only to mention Live on the Switch, Front Mission First Remake on the Switch, and Cursed Xenoblade Chronicles 3. He also said, I would say Elden Ring, but that's been out for a while, and that's and that game's fucking awesome. And digging Project Eve too. Yeah, Project Eve is awesome because, like I said, Devil May Cry style hack and slash gameplay combined with the fact I want to play more Korean games. Hot Korean chick with a thick ass and a tight outfit. Win-win for me. So I'm interested in that. Anything else you'd like to say about Tiny Tina's Wonderland?
No, I'm just ready to shank some bitches.
You know what? I can appreciate that because I missed playing that in Borderlands. I didn't play it. I played them and I didn't really do a lot. All I would do is kind of run around robbing from people. I would actually get my friend killed because I wouldn't fight and just try and rob people instead.
Yeah. Cody said, yay, video games. That is all for now. my next hype game would be Ghostwire Tokyo on the PlayStation. I know I mocked Sony ponies a lot, and for those who don't know, a Sony pony is pretty much a PlayStation cocksucker. They're retarded. They state some of the dumbest shit on planet Earth. But when it comes
that
to
doesn't explain. Get to the game. Stop insulting people.
Well, I can't help.
Are you coming for me? You coming for me?
Well, when it comes
get to the game. I don't care about these people. I want to know the game, all right? And I don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, you watched my video roasting Professor Otaku. You like seeing me insult people. I'm funny.
It's entertaining, but I also don't understand it because I don't pay attention to other people. And as someone who likes playing Sony games more than Xbox games, shut the hell up.
Okay.
But when it comes to upcoming games, I say PlayStation has it right now because there's Project Eve and Ghostwire Tokyo. And for Ghostwire Tokyo, as I described it in a stream with Zimzilla and Monarch, where we watched the overview, it looks really fucking good. If I was to describe it, it's kind of like Japan's Doom. And not in a way like the Doom Slayer, where you're just this powerful brute that doesn't speak much and slaughters demons, but more of you're not normal, since you kind of make a deal with a Japanese spirit who has his own motives, but is teaming up with you to get those done. And you pretty much do all this stuff in foreign lore, like the stuff with your hands to take out the ghost and yokai and such. And you have all these very unique spirits I really like. And you have the grappling hook too, which is a combination similar to Doom Eternal and Spider-Man, which I fucking love Spider-Man. We'll get more on that later.
And grappling hooks just make video games better.
Yes, like Spider-Man and Doom Eternal just really done well for that, and it adds a nice new take on the FPS genre with horror elements, I think. It overall is good, and the voice acting seems very, very solid.
Interesting. When does it come out?
I can't remember, but it comes out, I think, either this year or next year. Pretty sure it's this year. It's a Japan game, and overall, I am very hyped to get my hands on it. The plot of it, like I said, is essentially this one guy. You're playing as this one dude. That comes into a city that comes into Tokyo, which is essentially full of yokai, evil spirits, and stuff along the lines of that. And then you have to take them down, but you come across this one spirit who has his own motives that isn't exactly your friend, but he teams up with you and gives you abilities to kind of get what he wants done.
It's a mix of it's like a Faustian deal where you're helping me, but I'm also helping you, apparently, right?
Yes, and that's one of the things that makes it look so good. I like the gameplay being unique to it, because unlike most FPS, you don't use a gun. You pretty much just use the stuff in Asian lore. Like, you know how in Japanese lore, like Shinto, Buddhism, where people just like do this shit with their hands to banish their spirits?
Yeah.
That's how it goes with its FPS style. And I haven't had that in a game, and it brings so much potential in gameplay style, because I never once had spiritual-like abilities from stuff like Shinto lore in a fucking FPS game.
You're making me want a Yu Yu Hakusho game now.
Yeah, and I'm quite stoked for it. Then when you add that with its story, it makes you feel like a badass. And like I said, he's not silent like the Doom Slayer, but that's why I like it so much, because it's like a Japanese version of Doom without being Doom. It's different. It's its own unique entity, and they better not fuck it up.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, Dooms were a very, very fun game.
Yes,
They knew what they were doing, and it's like, you know what, yeah, let's just go in with it. I kind of hope they keep that, because that's the most fun elements of those games. The lore to it, I'm not too big on, and that's usually what drives me from games, but the fact I'm like, I just love rampaging right now is so much fun. It's the power of fantasy.
That's blasphemy. The lore in Doom is amazing. Like the Slayer, like the story to the 2016 game was more simple, but it did a good job of kind of giving you context for the overall gameplay and making you feel like you're this very badass demon hunter. But Doom Eternal went much more complex, and I liked that because you got to understand more of the lore of the Slayer. It tied itself into the older games, which the older games already shown that the Slayer was this very badass demon killer, but apparently he was just a very strong man, which is why he was chosen to become a demigod. It's overall has a lot of complexity to it, which is why I really enjoyed that.
Okay, interesting. Let's keep an eye out for that then.
And Cody Bratch said, yeah, Joey, you're funny looking. Oh, fuck off. Mad Matt said the heavy metal guy, the heavy metal mecha pilot said, I'm more of a Switch dude myself, to be honest, but yeah, I'm definitely digging Ghostwire Tokyo. I don't have a preferred platform, as I just love gaming. I don't care if it's Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, any of that. I would say PC, but PC's mostly digital now, and I'm a physical media guy, so yeah, I don't care if the performance is better on PC. I'd rather have a physical copy in my fucking hand. It's much more satisfying.
I just want to play the game.
Yeah,
I switch. I go back and forth between the Switch and the PlayStation.
So do I. Depends on what I kind of want it for. Like if I want to, like, the TMNT game, I want to get it for the Switch because I want to be able to play that with other people and also walk around with it. I don't want to be stationary while playing that game.
I like to play stuff on all consoles. So generally, when I'm going for multi-platform, I'll go for PlayStation or Xbox since they're more powerful. But with Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, since the graphics weren't this very powerful thing, I just grabbed it for the Switch because it's like, it looks fun. It's Kamen Rider with Devil May Cry style gameplay, and playing this on a portable console is just gonna be a blast. So fuck it, I'll grab it that. But generally, I grab the more powerful thing, unless it's PC, because PC gives you very much a powerful performance, but you can't get it physically anymore, which is why I don't go to PC unless I have to. But yeah, I personally, I just love gaming. I love all my platforms equally, which is why when I got a PS5 lately, I was fucking happy for it because...
Oh, congrats!
Thank you.
Congrats.
I still haven't gotten one yet, but I haven't had a reason to get one yet. So
let me offer you guys a piece of advice to get a PS5. Check for one of your hardware selling stores. Like if you got an errands, put your bet on a console, and then they should let you know when they have one in. Might be a few months, but eventually they'll be like, "Hey, we got in your console. Come get it." And
I live in an area that I'm surrounded by game stores, so it's possible you forget one. I just haven't had a reason to get one. Like, I will buy a console when I need to. Like, if this game is only going to be on that console, then I'll consider getting it. If I don't have to, then I'll just save the $600 and use it for anything else.
Yeah. Then when it comes to old school platform, when it comes to last gen games on backwards compatibility, I'll go for it on Xbox, because here's the thing: the backwards compatibility on PlayStation is inferior since it doesn't do all games, and well, it does all PS4 games, but it doesn't do PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and stuff like that. Where Xbox, you could play Xbox One, a fuck ton of 360 and original Xbox games, and all of them are in modern performance. While PlayStation,
I'm so annoyed. That's the thing with Sony.
Yeah, while PlayStation, sometimes they want you to pay for the upgraded performance of that last-gen game. And that upsets me, because, like, guys, Xbox is upgrading every last-gen game for free. So why do that? And not all of them have the upgrade either. And that upsets me.
Because PlayStation has the better exclusives. That's why they're worth it.
In some defense, I have to give it to her there, because at one point I was saying, like, I don't like buying the same games over, but here I am with like 3 copies of Kingdom Hearts on different systems and Okami on 3 different systems. Just because I love those games so much, I just kept rebuying them. So I understand that's a problem, but I'm also part of the problem.
Well, as the Ackman said, when it comes to the whole console wars bullshit, there's things Xbox does better and there's things PlayStation does better. Yes. There's pros and cons to each. Like, something PlayStation does better is you don't have to buy a capture card to record gameplay footage. Xbox, you do. So there's kind of anti-consumer bullshit going on both ends, but you know what? It's corporation shit, so
they'll find a way of getting extra money out of you no matter what.
Yeah, which is why I have no preference in terms of Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch, because both have their pros and cons. So that's me for you. But anyway, what's your next hype game, Pharaoh?
I don't remember if Carolee wanted to choose this one or not. But if so, you can hop onto it, okay?
Okay.
I'm excited for God of War Ragnarok.
Okay. Nice.
Like, I love the PlayStation 4 God of War that came out. I played it twice. I was super excited about it, and I felt so angry at the very, very end where you see Thor coming down and you charge at him and it just goes black. Like, that's aggressively annoying, but it gets me so hyped for the next game. If the next game doesn't immediately start off with me fighting Thor or getting bodied by Thor,
throw it away. Just throw it away.
Yeah, Ragnarok, I've played a bit of God of War, but I decided to turn it off for a bit just so I could kind of do a let's play of that when I get my HDMI splitter, because I got the capture card, but I apparently need an HDMI splitter as well to do live streams of it. Which, granted, I don't need a capture card to record footage on my PlayStation, but I do need a HDMI splitter / capture card to live stream. Well, to schedule a live stream, because I can still live stream on it without one, but I like to be able to schedule my live stream so people can see it and be like, hey, Gojin's got a stream up. Let me get that in my notifications before he starts, just so I can kind of pull more people in. But yeah, from what I played of the 2018 game, it's a blast, and it's one of the PlayStation 4 games where the PS5 upgrade of it is free, and I like that. I think it has potential, and from what I played, it kind of leaves some room for some newbies of God of War. Even though it's a sequel to the older games, it doesn't leave anybody lost.
That's what got me interested, because I've played the old God of War games before, but it's been years since I played them. So when I got this one, I kind of forgot a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So when I bought the new one, I'm like, oh, this is really fun. And as you're going through it, you get that cool ice axe, kind of like you get the cool ice axe. And over time, you go to Niflheim. Is it Niflheim or Hell? I don't know. It's one of those. But you go, no, I think it's Hell. Yeah, because there were ghosts and spirits there. You go to Hell, and you end up getting your Blades of Chaos back, and it feels so good having them. It has such a good story going for it. It has really fun combat. I love folklore, and God of War is nothing but playing in a folklore world and feeling overpowered to beat up these gods. It is wonderful. I am excited for this. That is something that if it was exclusive for PS5, I would buy a PS5 just to play that. I'm happy it's coming out for the PlayStation 4, so I will most likely buy it there. And I was like, I'm going to get this probably day one release, and I will have fun going through it. And then I'll probably research a lot more lore, just because I want to know as much as I can about Norse mythology to play these games and really feel like, wow, they did research with these. And I love that.
You should read the Prose Edda. It's the #1 go-to for like as close to the sources you could get for Norse mythology.
Yay! I have a few books that I end up reading. I read a few things online. I get a little mixed up with some of the naming, unfortunately, which kind of throws me off. And I'll be honest, I keep forgetting a lot of gods are very, very petty.
Oh, yes.
Well, they are gods, so...
It's like a lot of like the fantasy games we play. I'm like, these are the idealized versions of them, not a lot of just how they are and just being petty and spiteful to each other. I was like, no, that makes sense. You guys would be terrible to be with on a daily basis. That kind of gets me more invested to beat Kratos and beating the tar out of them more.
Yeah.
It's like now I have personal investment beating you guys
right?
up. And plus, I get to see my boy again. I get to be the best dad in game. I get to be dad again.
Well, I gotta go, guys. It was nice being on here.
Bye-bye, JS.
All right.
Bye.
Mad Matt, the heavy metal guy, also said, I would love to have a PS5 sometime and would have had a PS5 already were it not for the fucking scalpers. Yeah, I don't blame you. It definitely could get irritating, but like the advice I gave earlier, I recommend doing that, and you should be able to get one at some point. Me, I'm glad that I have every fucking generation of every fucking game, every fucking console of the modern era, except Soulja Boy's crap.
What?
So, you know who Soulja Boy is?
No. Sorry, yes.
Look up, it's fucking funny. He took a Chinese bootleg console, claimed it as his, ripped people off with it, and he claimed he was the fucking new owner of Atari, to the point Atari had to tweet on Twitter, "We know that being the owner of Atari, the CEO of Atari, is a dream job, but the owner's name of Atari is," I forgot the exact name, and I mentioned him, and a lot of people were laughing at that shit. Soldier Boy is a lolcow. He's a joke.
I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
I like watching these commentary channels like It's a Gundam, who makes fun of dumb shit, and he's one of the people I've came by. I love Soldier Boy because he's fucking stupid. I love him in an ironic way because his stupidity is funny. That's
Carolee,
why.
I think I might relate more with you, that I'm old enough to realize I've dealt with enough stupid things in my life that I think I can just live, like, I'm tired of a lot of it. It's like I've seen and lived through enough stupid things. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go online to watch stupid things. That's just human nature now.
I just like to laugh at dumb shit. That's kind of why I made that Deconstructing Insane Nonsense online series, just so I could kind of dismantle stupid takes on the internet and then roast the living fuck out of them as far as YouTube will let me go. Which in that video, I'm surprised how far I've gotten with some of the shit I said in there, but you know what? I got away with it. So
if it works out.
Yeah. Cody Bratch said, "I only ever played the first God of War game. Didn't get far though." Okay, he said far, not for.
Okay.
Don't you judge me anyway. Don't you judge me.
That's okay.
Like, no judgment.
Yeah, no. Like some people are.
Anyways, I remembered enjoying.
That's fair. It's like that, or maybe it didn't hold your attention. Maybe the gameplay wasn't very good. Maybe the graphics weren't that good. That, by all means, no judgment there. There's a lot of games that I'm not interested in. Like, I'm not interested in the Dark Souls games. I don't like games that are so difficult and punishing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I understand the attraction for it. It's not for me. If I'm gonna beat myself up in a game, it'll most likely be in a platformer where it's like, I know what I'm doing here. That's my screw up. The level isn't hard. I'm just mistiming myself.
I can play Dark Souls, but I can't do it alone. Like, I always play it with my boy Zimzilla99, who was actually nice enough to buy the third game for me on my birthday a couple years ago. So thank you, Zim. And when it comes to Dark Souls, I don't play it alone. I play it when I have him, who has his character completely upgraded, by my side to walk me.
So you have a tank on your side then?
Yes, I have a fucking tank who could pretty much walk me through it. And it's like, okay, I got this. And while he does that, I get to upgrade my character along the way. So I don't have to deal with this hard bullshit. Because whenever I do it alone, I want to throw my fucking remote through the television.
And that's the thing. That's not fun for me. I don't like a game that's just punishing for the fact, like, it's hard. Like, no, I want it to be fun and let the difficulty be me screwing up.
Yeah. But another thing Cody said is, I remembered enjoying it and having a lot of fun. Also, Kratos is an absolute badass. Yes, he is.
You know what? I feel for that guy. He's finally someone who's like, I am done with these Greek gods messing with my life after killing his family and going on a rampage. That is totally believable. And, like, it's so much fun that I love it. It hits that Asur's Wrath level of my brain of like, we're doubling down on the absurd of what we can do, and let's go.
Yeah. Okay, there's two tweets. Two comments. Matt said, "It's a Gundam is a beast." Yes, he is fucking hilarious. Cody Bratch also said, "No, it was hard. I was loving it up to a point I couldn't get past. I kept telling myself I would come back to it. That was more than 5 years ago. Oops."
Oops.
It's okay. Honestly, if you ever get around to it, I would say do it. They're fun, they're lively, they're entertaining. But if you have the time, go for it. If you don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, what's your next pick, Carolee?
Somebody tell me, because I didn't actually look it up. I was excited to hear that Portal is coming to Switch. I know nobody else in the group.
Yeah.
It's soon, I think. I don't think it came out yet. I think it's coming out soon. And I'm just really excited for that because I'd like to play that on the Switch. I loved it. The computer was awesome. That's like the best part of it is just to hear the computer talk shit about you.
The entire time.
The entire time, yeah. And I loved that.
I'll be honest, I never liked that stupid computer. It's like, well, like I didn't do anything to you. Why is this happening to me? And that's the fun part of that game. Like, I just want to leave. Leave me alone.
I just wonder.
I don't think it's released yet because I can't find anything about being released right now on the Switch. So, perfect choice there.
Coming for Nintendo Switch in a new collection. Release window confirmed. Nintendo assures fans that the games will be available on Switch by the end of the year. They released that February 2022.
Okay. Yeah, I was super excited when I read that they were going to put that onto the Switch. I'm looking for more games to play on the Switch.
I didn't know. Thanks for letting me know. I haven't played those games in forever.
I love them. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And like the same lady who did the voice of the computer in that movie Pacific Rim. That's the only reason I watched that movie.
Makes sense.
The only reason.
That's cool.
You seen Pacific Rim? You seen Pacific Rim?
Yeah. That was the only reason I watched it, though, was for Gladys.
What'd you think of it? I fucking love that movie. It has that nice blend of tongue-in-cheek action and melodrama that made it overall really good, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it when it came out. I saw it in theaters, and I don't remember much of it. I was just excited for Gladys. But I didn't walk out, so it was obviously okay, because if I don't like something, I'm going to walk out. So,
fair enough.
I haven't walked out of a theater before because it feels like I lost my money then.
Like, I'd rather lose money than time any day.
Okay.
I'm with Pharaoh. Plus, that way... I'm with Pharaoh. Plus, when it comes to a bad movie, there is a benefit to come from it. I get to shit talk it online, particularly on this channel, if I go to see a shitty movie.
I should... I gotta think, like I want to think. What's a movie that would make me so upset I'd walk out of it?
I
would say it, but I'd be booed. I would tell you, but I would be booed off right now.
Say it. What is it?
Jaws.
The first one.
That's a hot take. That's a fucking hot take.
I'll show myself out.
I mean, that's a movie I'll walk out of because I'm afraid.
No, it just sucks. It just sucks.
Interesting. I feel like we need to have another discussion about this. Hot take movies that everyone loves but you dislike. I'd be down for another stream of that.
Okay, I can do that. I know movies a lot more than I know games. I'm just a casual gamer.
That's
like
fine.
you. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to feel like I got to curse anybody out or throw something or any of that. I just want to play and relax. So
did you hear my first two picks? The first game I chose was you're a person who just shoots at alien insects with giant guns, and the second one was an old arcade style Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, like the old school beat 'em up games. They're making a new version, so I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm excited for about. Something simple, fun, colorful. Yeah. I can play these whenever. With a lot of with replayability. That's a big thing for me. I want to replay games.
Cody Bratch said three things actually. Well, first one is, what is Portal exactly? Inform my ignorance.
Yes, go for it. Sorry, I cut you off. Carolee, what's the Portal games like?
It is basically it's puzzles. It's a lot of puzzles. You have to clear stages and get out of the room, and you have to figure it out by doing puzzles. You can move things and put them places that'll open up stuff. You can open portals and then go through it and come back through a different room. It's just a thinking game. It's basically all puzzles. And then you have this computer talking shit about you the whole time.
Yep.
That does sound awesome. I do love me some shit talking, so sounds like a good time. I have heard of Portal. I just wasn't exactly sure what it is myself. I just pretty much knew the name.
The little gimmick of it. So the gimmick of those portals is the portal gun itself, where you have this one gun that when you shoot once, it opens up a portal. You shoot again, it opens up a portal somewhere else. Yeah. So you basically have to do like 3 to 4th dimensional thinking to try and figure out, okay, there's a platform that's like 6 feet above me and there's no way for me to get there. So you have to like shoot a portal like on the roof above the platform, and then run below you, so you fall down onto the platform that's above you.
Yeah.
Puzzles.
Yeah, it's a lot of that stuff, and you also have to move objects to different directions. You get a companion cube with you that's supposed to give you cake if you bring it with you throughout the entire game.
Cake is a lie.
I know.
Cake is a lie.
You know what? No, it's not. Okay, you can get we are old enough that we can buy ourselves cake. All right.
Okay.
We can get through that game and give ourselves cake. It doesn't have to be a lie.
And I think it's crazy that in Minecraft, and I'm like a huge Minecrafter, when you craft a cake for the first time, the achievement you unlock is called "The Cake is a Lie."
Yep.
Yep.
Portal continues to live despite it not being relevant anymore, which
It
is very
does.
impressive.
It really does. Yeah, I love that.
Another thing Cody said was, he said 3 sayings. Carolee and her spicy takes invading the stream. It's true.
Honest, like I said, I want to go back to this. I want to have a hot take. What movie did you not like that did well?
I have a plan for that at some point, actually. Just first, next week, I want to
Help
do
me
a stream.
in, because I got hot takes.
Definitely. I'll probably do hot takes. I might do 2 streams of it. A stream for hot takes on movies and shows, and a stream for hot takes on video games. But next week, I want to do a review and discussion of The Batman for those who came to see it. Have you seen Batman yet?
No, but I will try to see it. Let me see. I have Monday and Tuesday available, so I might be able to get out, go see it one of those days.
Do you live in an area where movie theaters are $5 on Tuesday?
No, I just no like that.
No,
it's not
a thing.
money.
Is that just
I have no idea because I don't go to movie theaters a lot.
That's a thing.
I'm busy.
I know that's a thing with AMC's where every Tuesday night movie theaters $5. I don't know if that's changed or not, but
I need to look into that.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, movie theaters are kind of like a happy place for me. Like, even let's say I'm having a bad day, if I go into a movie theater, I just get this feeling of magic and happiness on it's a happy place for me. It always is. Even if I'm going to see a shitty movie, something about the movie theater experience has always enhanced my mood.
So if you went to go see Jaws, you would still have a good time.
Jaws is good. Thank you very much.
There's not many movies that have terrified me in my life. No, there's probably a few, but Jaws is definitely one of them. I've gotten better at it over time, and I think I rewatched the Jaws series earlier this year when I had COVID, or last year. But I'm like, wow, I still say the first one holds up fairly well. The others don't. The others are just terrible.
Yeah, the second one, if I was talking about the Jaws movies, first one's great, second one's fine, third and fourth they're unintentional comedy. Yeah,
that's what I want to know. I'll get into this a whole other time. I want to hear your point of view from it directly. Okay?
Yeah, we should do that, especially since I have some hot takes myself. Some that's probably gonna. One of them I think is gonna upset Carolee. One of my hot takes.
What is it?
It's something to do with Dragon Ball.
I'm leaving.
Dragon Ball Evolution?
Don't you do
not
that.
Dragon Ball Evolution. That's not a hot take. I know Wade already wants to rip my fucking head off. Which I actually give a shout out to Wade, but I don't think he'll care. But he already wanted to rip my head off him. And
what the fuck did you say about Dragon Ball?
The other dudes in NTQ, it's overrated. Dragon Ball is overrated. I can't even finish the original show.
Like the original Dragon Ball cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't hate it. It's
Dragon Ball Kai wasn't all that good. I could probably live without most of GT, but Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, come the
As
fuck
a GT
on.
apologist, I'm sorry for GT, but can you at least understand? Can you at least see that they tried? They had good concepts at least. The Tuffle idea was a cool idea. We knew the Saiyans were a problem. So having a mortal enemy to Saiyans come back for revenge, cool idea. Poor execution, but cool idea. The Shadow Dragons. That's a cool idea.
I do plan to get back to the original DB at some point. I kind of have hope in Z because I heard Z is stupid fun and actually a lot more entertaining. So I have hope in that. But when it comes to the first DB, It's okay. That's how I feel about it. But I'll go into why.
In I can understand what he's trying to go for. Seeing it in a different order is weird because I saw Dragon Ball Z first, and then I went to Dragon Ball, and it was a little jarring to go from people shooting beams and going learning Super Saiyan and aliens to tournament. It's like a small scale tournament. It is a little jarring to deal with. So I'm like, okay, I can understand that. I still appreciate all of it. Super kind of bothers me, but I do like what they do. And like I say, I apologize for GT. I really do. I like it because I love Super Saiyan 4. It is one of my favorite Super Saiyan transformations next to the vanilla form. But they have good ideas. The Shadow Dragons were a cool idea. Their design sucked and their plot sucked. But if they could redo that in a better way, I feel like that has a lot of emotional weight and promise to it. They spent all these years going for Dragon Balls. Now the Dragon Balls are the problem.
Okay, another thing Cody said was, puzzles, huh? Well, I hear Mortal Kombat calling my name.
Yeah, all right.
And he also said, let them eat cake. He said, one of my...
Thank you. Whoever said that, thank you.
Cody. He also said, one of my own spicy movie takes. There's no such thing as a good Matrix movie. I like the first three, to be honest. I don't like the new one, but the first three are... I think the first one's great, second's good, third is fine. Fourth movie, no. Fourth movie sucks. I haven't seen the Animatrix, though.
I'm thinking. I'm like, the first one I enjoyed a lot.
It was amazing. The first one's the shit, okay?
It did a lot, but I'll be honest, I haven't got, I don't go back to rewatch them because I'm not interested in them, which is an issue. If I really like a movie, I will rewatch it. And the only part of, the Matrix movies I would watch were some of the fights, but even then, I don't deal with them anymore. So it's like, huh.
I personally like the Matrix, especially as a fan of martial arts movies, though I wouldn't put it as one of my favorites. Some martial arts movies that are one of my favorites. Before I get back on topic to the games, some great martial arts movies that reach phenomenal: Kung Fu Hustle, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Ip Man, Godzilla Final Wars, which you would probably really like Godzilla Final Wars, because the thing about that one, it has similarities to The Matrix. It takes a lot of inspiration from it. You have all this battling.
There's so much happening in Godzilla Final Wars, right? Take The Matrix, take Power Rangers, take Godzilla, take Star Wars.
Final Wars is
all together.
It's this very balls to the walls action movie, and it's a lot of fun. You even have a fucking boxer known as Don Fry as the stereotypical American hero, and he was so much fun. But that's one of my favorite martial arts movies ever, because with the human stuff, it's not normal human stuff. It's essentially mutants versus aliens, and it's very, very balls to the walls.
It's humans versus aliens with mutants involved. Someone goes Super Saiyan.
Yes. It's very over the top.
I am not joking. Someone literally goes Super Saiyan in that movie. I'm like, they just threw everything into this.
Yes. So when it comes to martial arts movies, there's those. Those I love. There's also Rush Hour. Rush Hour, I also love that too.
Oh, yes.
I like Shinobi.
Very good, yes.
I haven't seen that, believe it or not. Bruce Lee movies, there's also a fuck ton of Bruce Lee movies that I really liked. There was a time I was binging Bruce Lee movies, and that was last year. It started with Enter the Dragon, which is unfortunately the year Bruce Lee died, but it was so fucking good. But anyway, time to get back to
again. What was the topic again? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, time to get back to the game topic. Whose pick was it after last time?
I think it was yours now.
Okay, mine. Okay, my next pick, Spider-Man 2. Thing about Spider-Man. Here's the thing about Spider-Man first Spider-Man game for the PS4. Cute cat, by the way.
Thank you.
The first.
No, leave it. Bring it back. We want cat. Yay!
The glitch with the black cat.
Okay, now Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man PS4. I played that once on the PlayStation 4 for a while, and I really enjoyed it. Just there was a point where I got lost on it. I mean, where I got stuck on a level, and I kind of just stopped playing it. But then when we got the PS5, I was like, you know what? Time to kind of return to the game. And I've been hooked on it once again as I've gotten further with it. It has a very good story, fun gameplay. You have the fucking Arachnid Rider suit, which is very much a inspiration of Toei's superhero series Kamen Rider.
Didn't Spider-Man have a Japanese
outfit? It is. It's called Spider-Man. Stanley liked that show so much, he added Spider-Man and his giant super robot Leopardon in his comics, but he hated the American show that came out on Spider-Man so much that came around the same time, he made sure it never got a DVD.
Wow.
But yeah, he liked the Japanese Spider-Man. But when it comes to that game, it was really good, and I'm kind of hoping Spider-Man 2 has another Toku-inspired skin, especially since the Miles Morales game had the strike suit, which was very much inspired by Kamen Rider the First and Kamen Rider the Next. You also have, and so I think this one's probably also going to have a Toku suit, but if it does, either give another Toku-inspired Spider-Man suit, or get the Spider-Man suit, the Japanese show by Toei. That would be fucking awesome. And you have fucking Tony Todd as Venom, the fucking Candyman. He's perfect. Name someone better to play Venom than Tony Todd, Keith David, or whatever. Perfect choices. You have the fucking Candyman as Venom. Though I do hope it doesn't feel like a DLC of the first game, because the Miles Morales game, a lot of people liked it. But one of their issues with it just felt like a Miles Morales DLC of Spider-Man. So I would like to see that done. Though I'll probably grab the PS4 version and run it on my PS5, because I'll tell you something. I don't like how the PS5 version of Spider-Man, they just changed his suit to look like an actor, to look like a face model that looked like Tom Holland for no reason. I prefer the face model of the PS4 version. So hopefully they stick with that model instead of doing, as someone called it, Spider-Man Tom Holland, because it's a different game. He's not Tom Holland.
Yeah. Spider-Man was really fun, and that's a game I was considering of adding on to, but then I forgot. And I'm also nervous about it, because I don't know what they're going to do now.
I heard, I don't know how Spider-Man PS4 ends. Don't spoil it for me, since I've been playing through it later. I've been playing through it more lately. But I heard it has something to build up towards Venom's arrival, and that's interesting. And how the trailers build up Venom, yeah, I like what I see.
Yeah, I'm completely down for Venom. I love that character. I kind of hope we kind of get enough of him, but I still like the other villains going through it too. Or maybe balancing it out. So that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I really liked 4 that I don't know what's going to happen in the next one. So I'm excited for it, but I'm nervous.
I think it has lots of potential. Especially since they said it's going to be darker than the first game. And with a character like Venom, that's easy. And it's nice to see that it's going back to Venom's darker comic book routes, because lately we have the Venom movies, which are fun for what they are. But the character is very goofy in them. And I'd like to see...
Goofy, and that's not... I don't like it.
Unfortunately, that kind of comes into what the comic's been up to, because Venom's been more of a protagonist. So he's being less threatening and more of a good guy and less of an anti-hero, which probably means that's character growth for Eddie Brock. But at the same time, Venom kind of loses a lot of his teeth in doing so.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think it has potential, and it's nice to see we're getting a darker take on Venom again, because I enjoy the Venom movies for what they are. They're stupid popcorn flicks, but they have a lot of issues, and I'm looking forward to seeing a more darker take on the symbiote, which it looks like that's what they're going with, especially since they captured Tony Todd. Carolee, as a horror fan, I'm sure she knows exactly who Tony Todd is, don't you?
No, you can't.
The Candyman.
I don't do names.
Do you know the Candyman, the movie?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, the Candyman. He was the Candyman. Okay. That's Tony Todd. He's playing Venom in the game, and you know what? He's
cool.
Perfect. And
Venom kind of hold anti-Venom somewhere in it. That'd be cool.
That would be cool, especially since Spider-Man PS4, when it comes, as you go on, there's a lot of plot lines in the story, and as you do more missions, side missions, etc., it takes a extra step on something more into what the plot is about. And so they could do a lot of plot lines in this game, like you'll have a main focus at one point, and once you solve that problem, it'll focus on something else. So yeah, he could very much become your ally later in the game, and I kind of look forward to that. If they can bring anti-venom into this, that would be nice. If the game's long like the first one, through a lot of mission progression, it could have the proper build-up.
Yeah. I have faith they'll make this game. I have faith in the game. I'm just nervous because I've been excited about things that usually dash my hopes later. So I'm like, cautious optimism.
That is fair. Like, even when I'm hyped for a game, I hype for anything for that matter. I don't have the mindset of, oh, I know this is going to be good, or, oh, I know this is going to be bad. I always have, like, this can go either way objectively, but I have hope in it. There's potential. I'm looking forward to it. But I don't ever have this absolute mindset of, oh, this is going to be a certain way.
Yeah, fair.
What's your next pick, Forgottenpharoh?
I don't have any. Those are generally the only games I'm interested in. The only other game I might be interested in is Gotham Knights, which is the next series of the Batman Arkham games, or the Arkham Asylum games, where instead of being Batman, you're Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and I think Red Hood. Basically, you're the Bat family, and you're dealing with the Court of the Owls. And I do love the gameplay to that. I love the story behind the Court of the Owls. It's really fun. The comic is weird with it, but hopefully they kind of make better touches with it. I'm excited to see how the Labyrinth is going to be. But again, I don't know much else about it. So I'm like, we'll see how that goes. Because in that timeline, Batman's gone. So we'll see what happens with this now.
Yeah, it has potential. Okay, time to read some of the chat. Because one of the things I like about these streams is interacting with people who watch. Cody said, Don Fry was a mixed martial artist and pro wrestler, not a boxer. El ignorant Mausu. Okay, well, my bad. Poor wording, but yeah, he was that before he was an actor. And he was perfect for Godzilla Final Wars. Since Godzilla Final Wars is a martial arts film, he had the charisma, and for a movie that's going for fun popcorn entertainment like that as a love letter to the Showa era, it worked. He offered that stereotypical fun American hero to the Japanese audience, which, yes, that's how the Japanese stereotype Americans. They generally see as these buff American heroes, but you know what? For a movie like that, it worked, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cody also said, Kitty, all in caps. Yes, the kitty is cute. He also said Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man is a really good show. I think that show's on Disney Plus now, which I'm surprised since it's owned by Toei and Marvel, and Toei are a bunch of fucking dickheads.
Wait, which one? The animated series?
No, Spider-Man, the Tokusatsu show.
Is it?
Yeah, it's owned by Marvel and Toei. Toei are a bunch of fucking dickheads, so I'm surprised that's on Disney Plus. At least I think it's on Disney Plus. I could be wrong, but I think
I don't remember seeing that floating around anywhere.
I think August Ragoon may have announced it, and if you see this, August, and don't, before you accuse me of spreading misinformation, no, I'm saying I think. I don't know, so I'm not spreading misinformation here. I could very much be wrong.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, so maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
Do they not have Spectacular Spider-Man on here?
No.
That's like the best one.
Another thing Matt said is Spider-Man on PS4 was very much amazing. Goku, Spider-Man, suit skin, and all. Venom is very much the Heckiter, and Spider-Man's Heckiter, and that's always that's always okay in my book. If you don't know what Heckiter and Heckiter is, that's Tokusatsu franchise by Toei that came out back in the day, and the villain Heckiter is one of the inspirations for Darth Vader. I haven't seen much of Heckiter myself, but I have seen the 90s.
I still don't understand what that means.
I didn't know that.
Heckiter and Heckiter. What Matt means by that is they're essentially polar opposites. Venom is Hecator is essentially Hecator's darker version. I seen the 90s movie Mechanical Violator Hecator, and I really liked it. Kind of was like a Japanese version of RoboCop while also being different. And it was by Keita Amamiya, and you could say I suck off Keita Amamiya, but that's because his work's fucking good. I love Gato, I love Mechanical Violator Hecator, and I love Kamen Rider Zeto. He's a talented man. Matt also said, speaking of Hecator, just got my copy of Mechanical Violator Hecator yesterday. One of the best purchases for sure. Yeah, I need to buy that myself. I saw the movie. I love it. I need to grab it. It's super fucking good. Like, honestly, it's similar to RoboCop, but I think I like it. I don't think I like it better than RoboCop, to be honest. But that's my take. Anyway, you got any other games you're hyped for, Carolee?
I sure don't, Ben.
So I think we're all good for today. Thank you all for joining me. I really enjoyed having this nerd discussion with all of you. Like, I know I say this a lot, but these streams are a nice way to get to interact with you all. I get to know you all a bit better, and it feels more legitimate. Like, texting is legitimate friendship, don't get me wrong, but when you're doing it through a video chat, it feels even closer, and I like that. That's why I always kind of liked it. And doing it as a way to get content out, it's a win in my book. So thank you, Carolee. Thank you, Pharaoh. Thank you, Sebastian. And thanks to all of those watching. It means a lot. Gonna stick with that weekly algorithm. Got another video coming next Saturday and a stream coming next Sunday for the Batman. So feel free to tune on then. Been really helping my algorithm. So anyway, and go and support, if for all you who don't, go and support Forgottenpharoh's business and Carolee's business. Both of their links will be in the description down below. So with that being said, this is Gojin the Makai Phantom leaving the building.
Ta-da!